Hey guys, how's it going? tmanplays here with another Warno ranked game for you today. And we're going to be playing 82nd Airborne. We're versus 5th Panzer. And we're playing on two-leg stool. Plan of action, basically, we're rushing his town objective here. Bunch of airborne stingers to cover this advance. A lot of just airborne. One card of dragons. Just going to try and basically get over here, defend the outskirts. We also have a tow 2 and another airborne going to be getting here. Tow 2 going to be sitting here trying to cut off reinforcements from the road. On the right hand side, we're also being a little bit aggressive with a tow here. Some airborne and airborne dragons, some stingers around to protect against Apaches and air as well, since 5th can bring in 2 cards of the Apache rocket. And while we are already into a zone, he doesn't have any forward deploy, so that's a big advantage for our airborne here. Nothing really happening on the right side. Just use one command, which is now going to route to Alpha and Zulu, get those captured for us. But you can see the tow 2 already forcing these Lukes back. The dragon in this church here going to be able to connect on that Fuchs Milan. And while I've got my stingers in the rear, just going to slowly start advancing with those to protect our infantry more. Our opponent here did have to unload a little early because he knows we're already in his town. And well, I'm just going to clear the rest of the side to make sure he's not sending a force over there. On the right, still no action, so we're just slowly moving our units up, trying to get into the zone, because we also want to put pressure on this objective. Since we are airborne, he has better strength in the late game, so we need all the early pressure that we can get. And then I'm just leaving this guy back to protect this road, make sure he just doesn't get into the objective. Going to go ahead and start moving up these stingers as well, just to give our guys more air cover. Really important to keep the AA close to your units. But we are going to start engaging some of his infantry. The good thing, though, we have plenty of airborne in this area to basically deal with these pioneer guys. And we come at a higher veterancy. They only come at trained. So you can just see how fast they're getting suppressed. Tow 2 also going to help just deal with these transports. On the left side, kind of moving up my supply and my tow to the building just to get better positions. Also running in my stingers into the town over here in case he does bring up a helicopter. But right now, just kind of seeing how far I can push in both of these airborne into his point. Maybe find a CV sniper or something. Reinforcement-wise, we are bringing up a Cobra for the right and the left. CV about to make its way to Zulu. And while Bradley also coming in for the right over here, it's basically just to kind of move up through here, cut off this reinforcement route from any Leopard tanks. Also, got myself a tow 2 for the town over here. Gonna just path it straight to this building here so that we can start hitting some of these Leo 1A, 1A1s. Dragon also gonna help because of the range that the Dragon 2 can hit pretty hard against these Leos. Opponent, though, is going to start getting up some artillery, so we got to be careful where we're leaving our infantry now. You can also spot this tow 2. So we did get one of the Leos, but going to go down pretty quick there. Thankfully, the Dragon, not spotted yet, still doing some decent damage there. And, well, on this side, we see a helicopter's been purchased. And, well, he's got some units in the open, so going to start moving up the tow 2 over here. Dragon just going to start engaging some of these martyrs. He's going to get a nice kill on a Lukes there. And I'm just kind of hovering this Cobra back here in case he managed to sneak some infantry behind me, just to make sure my line isn't compromised. So just an Alouette, not an Apache, not too worried. Stinger going to attempt to get a shot there, but have to move him up a little bit closer. More artillery coming in on these airborne here. So I'm going to start trying to move them back, order some logistics to basically keep these guys supplied, as we did use all our Dragon 2s. So we're definitely going to need some logistics here. And then going to start running this airborne I had here, just to basically kind of cut this lane off, as I just got more airborne here. So now I can kind of plop one here, block access to this road, and then block access to this road, just to use my units a little bit more efficiently. Stinger finally gets up, gets a nice hit, kills the Alouette. And well, my CV at the start has now entered this back right-hand zone, gives us a +3. We're going to quickly start ticking up points. Also, it took me a while to get a command over here. I basically just wanted to strengthen my hold on this objective until I needed the command. Opponent does actually capture that, so it knocks me back to a +2. Gonna eventually run this command into the back of the point, though, get our tick a little bit higher. And putting pressure on this objective with the airborne, just starting to move guys around. And we see he has an infantry command here and some Fliegerfaust. Gonna do some damage to those Leo 1A1s as well. But we do get stunned up just because he does have a lot of infantry here with that tank support. Bradley gonna find a nice connection on one of those Sicherung squads there. And well, my CV's in this zone now, so it does bring us up to a +3. Artillery's starting to hit me pretty hard though, so having to pull back some of my units. We did manage to resupply both of these airborne squads though. And I also got an Apache just to kind of sit in the rear, just to maybe fire off some rockets here. I've also been using the Cobra. It is getting occasionally tagged by a Fliegerfaust, so we're just kind of landing him back and forth, resupplying, pushing him up, firing off the rockets, and then pulling him back for repairs. You can see I'm just kind of testing to see where exactly his AA is. This allows me to get in range of the Sicherungs, though, and kind of hold those back as I'm trying to repair these airborne squads. Don't want our Stingers to be firing against these guys, so just going to go ahead and pull the squad back. Yeah, the Apache did a nice job there of basically stunning up some of those squads. More Stingers and airborne on the way. Over here, M1 IP actually getting pretty hit hard by some of these Milans. So just going to attempt to pull that guy back. And you can see, here goes the Cobra again, firing off a round of rockets. Doing a lot of damage to these squads, really helping this infantry fight go well for me. Gonna just move the CV to the other side because he was starting to fire some artillery in this corner. Don't want that guy to go down. And then now we're going to resupply the rockets of the Apache. My M1 IP did go down over here, I think just to the swarm of Fuchs Milans. And well, Bradley, we got a lot of units on both sides now, so I'm going to need to smoke that off quick and get the hell out of there. And then unfortunately here we get tagged by two of the Fliegerfaust right as I lifted him off. And well, not quick enough to respond, so gonna lose that Apache there. Fight still going pretty well though. Our airborne managing to kind of hold everybody off. Martyrs are starting to do a lot of damage though, but you can see I'm just basically calling in logistics, healing up my squads, moving them forward, then eventually pulling back with the injured ones. So doing a good job of rotating, trying to run this supply back to the Cobra now because we pretty much used all our rockets there. Bradley moved back up to kind of deal with these Fuchs, but does get taken out by one of their Milans there. So now it's up to the Dragon. And we're slowly kind of losing our hold on this right-hand side. Reinforcements just bring a lot more infantry to the left, bringing also some more tow teams and just some more airborne because I want to make sure he doesn't get back in this point. I can always push back in here later as long as I kind of hold this area. And then since we lost our Bradley over here, rotating this M1 IP just to kind of help deal with some of this. And we see the squad of infantry here, so I know my command can't be in here much longer. It is at least hidden behind the building for now. So until he moves these guys up, I can just kind of keep that there. You can already see behind more infantry. We start to see that infantry move forward, so immediately going to reverse that CV out of there and pull back the tank as well. We did, however, get full control of the left, so that knocks our tick back up to a +2, which is really nice. Starting to tick okay. And just going to let my airborne dragons here kind of engage these guys from range. Just got a bunch of airborne in this little town area. His artillery is going to start landing on where I was reinforcing all these guys, though. And well, I'm just constantly bringing in logistics trucks because we definitely need to keep that supply flowing. And then over here, I'm attempting to get this guy into the building, also healing up the damaged airborne that was there. And yeah, here you can see kind of the power of the veterancy and just these light support weapons. Basically, we're tag teaming this Pioneer here, and you can see he's fully suppressed, and this guy has no suppression. This guy barely has any suppression, and it's constantly just kind of going down because he's not really able to hit me. Also brought up another Cobra just to help kind of deal with all three of those Pioneer squads as well as kind of a quick response unit. You can see as soon as they get spotted, Cobra can open up on those rockets. Does get hit by a Fliegerfaust in the back over there. So going to change the altitude to low, but we did a lot of damage to those Pioneer squads there. And now just going to move some supply to the Cobra to kind of heal that guy up. Opponent does get another CV in here. I can't really push him out because he has all this fire support. The TOW 2, though, going to spot one of these 2A3s, get a nice hit. And, well, I brought up another AH-64A Apache with the Hellfires. Just going to kind of keep him with the Cobra. That way we can fire rockets if he kind of overextends. TOW 2 can keep doing damage here. I also bought another TOW 2 just to kind of help this guy out in case he kind of starts overwhelming with armor, and then healing up this airborne squad here. So now that all my infantry's arrived, I'm going to try and push him out of this point again, just to put him under more pressure. You can see the artillery starting to come in on this TOW. Gonna realize we need to get out of there pretty quick if we want to keep that guy alive. Unfortunately, it does land right on the squad that I'm trying to heal as well, so have to pull that guy back. Cobra, though, been resupplied. Gonna start firing off on some of those reinforcements. Fliegerfaust over here, gonna cause me to kind of retreat it the other way. That Fliegerfaust still in one of these buildings, managing to hit me. Can't exactly find him, so got to be careful. Don't want to get tagged by another Fliegerfaust there. That's another one just barely gonna miss. But all my airborne about to basically push him out of this zone. As you can see, thankfully 2 Fliegerfaust shots have missed there. I haven't really realized yet, so I haven't changed the altitude of this guy, but airborne at least gonna cause him to kind of get the heck out of there. And well, that's gonna give me full control, put me at a +5. Kind of rotating this Apache over here because we see all these Leos, and I only have 1 IP in the area, so I kind of need to be careful with this, support him with the Apache. And then airborne, we have plenty of airborne squads, just kind of acting as a wall in this zone. Can't really push too far, though, because this town has just been absolutely leveled by the artillery from our opponent here. So all these Leo 1A1s, 2A3s, etc. can just kind of fire in here. So I'm just trying to hide my guys kind of behind buildings to make sure the engagements are favorable to me, not overextend, go for the CV, because we are at a +5. We've put a lot of pressure on this right-hand side. And yeah, we see his Apache rocket here. However, I've moved up my stingers, and well, we're going to get 2 nice hits on that rocket Apache, take that guy out. I've also moved up my TOW 2 just to further cut off the reinforcement route. And now we're just kind of running supply to basically resupply all these guys. 2 seat aircraft going to come out. I was looking for Rolands and Gepards, but we're going to see he has a lot of Fliegerfaust in this area. So just going to evac the seeds. No point in keeping those in. Going to mark where I just saw like 6 Fliegerfaust fire at me. And I know that was now a worthless endeavor. Usually when you play against the German divs, they're going to have Gepards, they're going to have Roland 3s. So basically, seed is usually a good buy, but in this case, our opponent not using any radar AA. If he was, he at least turned it off and we couldn't spot it. But that at least let me know where the AA was, so allowed me to move up this Apache a little bit, as we know all these Fliegerfaust are over here. And one is going to open up on me from there, so immediately going to have to pull this guy back. And he's still pushing with a lot of infantry here. Artillery kind of starting to hit my infantry again. Hellfire's going out, trying to connect with some of these vehicles. And I'm starting to kind of move this M1 IP to further push him out of here as well with the airborne. See now, Hellfire is going to be trying to hit these 2A3s that are pushing out. Going to get a nice hit there. The TOW 2 also helps to tag that. And well, Hellfire's doing a nice job of just suppressing these 2A3s, doing some damage. One goes down there to the toe 2, I believe. And well, since we got hit by a Fliegerfaust, just going to pull this guy back, send him to our little UH-60 supply there, get him healed up. And then here's where the double toe 2 is really powerful, is he's trying to push across here with all his Fliegerfaust to basically kick me out of this point. Also, my Cobra doing some damage to these Cicerungs. I called in an A10, and well, now that all of these Fliegerfaust are running out in the open, I have the sniper here. Just going to start targeting those one by one. And well, there goes one Fliegerfaust, there goes another, and the last one. So we get a nice run of 5 Fliegerfaust there. He still has a few in the point there, but still have plenty of airborne. Going to try and pull back the weaker squads, try and find those Fliegerfaust with the other airborne. Toe 2 here, going to be able to kill another one of his 2A3s. And while we still have this fully healed airborne squad here, some logistics coming for that toe. I was moving up my Cobras basically to hit his artillery in the rear. And yeah, just basically overwhelmed him there at the end. The A10 run on the Fliegerfaust was very satisfying. It's quite nice to kind of save that rocket A10 for that moment. And yeah, fun game against Tanner here, going under the name Merkel sends her regards. Um, but yeah, Totus did a pretty good job. This one able to get the 2A3 there. Plenty of those martyrs, lots of supply vehicles that you can see there. So really kind of cut off that reinforcement road. Did a very good job. And yeah, our Cobras just kind of constantly changing the altitude, keeping them kind of at that max range so the Fliegerfaust couldn't really bully us. And if we got hit, just basically land, resupply, pull back, resupply. Other Toe 2 here getting another 2A3. Some really good kills from those guys. And then the A10 rocket here getting the 5 Fliegerfaust in the end. Was a little strange not to see any aircraft used by 5th Panzer. Granted, they don't have really any good ASF. But still strange nonetheless. But fun game overall. Pretty good map for us since he didn't have the forward deploy. And yeah, that's about everything I wanted to say. So hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I'll catch you in the next one. Later, guys.